Eric and I were just discussing our free for all topic, which we'll talk about more um, in our free for all today. But we're gonna have a good show today. I was just looking over the agenda. A few news stories today, a few more than we're used to these past few days, which is good. But we're going to have a very spirited discussion on dubbing, which I think we can all very intelligently talk about, um, and some of the problems with hiring the same actor to do both the Japanese and English dubs. So that should be fun. I will be talking a little bit about, what am I going to be talking about here? Um, just all kinds of stuff. I'm gonna have a review of The Walking Dead season 11, the final. Thankfully, the final season of Walking Dead.
Did you watch The Last of Us?
No, it's not. It's not on till Sunday.
Oh,
so
right.
It's coming out this Sunday.
I think some people got early sneaks or something.
Yeah. Some people got. Everybody's saying it's great, and I can't wait to watch it, Eric. I think they couldn't have picked.
And there's some people who are just upset because it's not like the games. Well, if you wanted it to be like the games, why not just play the game?
Just play the game, and I heard that it's pretty faithful actually. A lot of people.
Like I think the biggest thing people are upset about apparently is that the lack of the spores.
They call them
all the
something different.
Things are not there now.
Yeah, they call them something different. I can't remember what they called them, but I think they did that more for practical effects purposes, which is fine. I mean, I know that's kind of upsetting, but we could talk about that too.
If you really think about it, though, the designs for the monsters in the game weren't that great to begin with anyway.
I kind of like it.
So they have an opportunity to improve on the monster designs.
Yeah, and the little sneak peek I got of them, Eric, through the trailer looked fine. It looked scary. So, give me a quick second here. I gotta
make them more than just people with crap on their face that you can tell what they are anymore.
Yeah, no, I think it's okay. I can't wait. I'm excited for it. So. I mean, from all accounts, all intents and purposes, I guess it's even better. Like they fleshed out some stuff in the series that they didn't have a chance to in the game. So, and they got the game. They got Druckmann to advise on everything. So it's like I
have problems with him, but I'd rather have the person who made the game help you as an advisor anyway. And, well, it's not as if they're completely gone. They're just not present yet. They can always put them back in later.
Yeah. I mean, everything that I've seen, every review says it's great, Eric. So, a lot of people are calling it the greatest video game adaptation of all time. So, and they couldn't have got two better people to do it. Hey, can you make sure we're live, sweetheart?
Yeah, I got a notification. Hold on.
You did get a notification? Okay, I just want to make sure that we're live.
Yeah.
Can you check Twitch? Twitch is the main. I really don't care about.
I kind of do hate some of the articles and some of the people that said certain things about the show and how like it's like the only good adaptation for a video game. Really, it's like
I mean
other things.
I mean, what has been good? I mean, Sonic. I guess Sonic's been pretty good.
I think I remember something along the lines saying where like video game narratives have like weren't good until The Last of Us because like they referenced Mario in that quote and it's like really there's been a lot of stuff since Mario.
Yeah. I mean, Sonic was good. Pikachu was good. I called Pikachu at the time the greatest video game adaptation.
No, we weren't talking about adaptation. We're talking about game narratives as a whole.
Oh, game narratives, it's got to be Last of Us, man. I mean, Last of Us has always been pretty good. There's been a lot of great ones, though. I mean, you could go through a lot of RPGs like that. I mean, look at BioShock. Look at Skyrim. or any of the Morrowind games. Obviously, I mean, there have been some good Final Fantasy ones. There have been, all kinds of stuff. So I don't know what people are talking about. If you're talking about adaptations, I mean, that are on screen, I mean, there haven't been many, right? We've discussed ad nauseum that. So, yeah. Okay, thanks, sweetheart. Looks like we are live, so that is good. Das is good.
I need a new desk chair because this thing's not comfortable to sit in.
Yeah. All right, Breakman's in there.
Or rather, it's not comfortable to sit in for hours on end.
See if he's on Skype. Let's see. Gonna try to see if Break is in here. What is going on? I got a message or some dumb thing. Okay. What? No, I don't want to explore shield mode. Thanks.
What?
I don't know. They got a shield mode. I don't know what the fuck that means. I'm not playing an RPG, so whatever.
Yay! Chick-fil-A's no longer in the Menor Mall.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. I wonder why they closed though.
God damn, I love those.
They not afford the rent anymore. Is the rent going up?
Well, either that or
are people finally just getting wise to Chick-fil-A? And
the
mall version is not best location, so they probably aren't getting as much business as they used to.
Well, they don't open on Sundays, and I think that's their biggest issue. I like Chick-fil-A. I think their sandwiches are awesome, but fuck, man. I mean, not being open on Sundays is not a small thing. Hopefully we get Breakman on here to do a little pre-show banter. Let's see. Come on, Break.
Oh, apparently it's been closed since the 31st.
Yo, Break, do we got you?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes! No problems. Woo!
I'm not gonna jinx it.
Yeah, let's not jinx it. That's true.
But
just
shut up. The biggest reason why it closed is because there's now a Chick-fil-A close by the mall anyway.
Oh, that's probably why they want to do standalone, make more, buy the building, make more money type thing.
Chick-fil-A is gross.
I like it. I don't know. I've always liked it. But I don't like what they stand for. They're the owners are the Cathay family is fucking trash. I think they're trash, but whatever.
Their food's trash too, but
I don't think their food's trash, man. I can make it, but I like it. I like it a lot.
Just learn how to make it and just never go there.
I know.
The Chick-fil-A closest to me has a Raising Cane's right across the street from me.
Yeah, Raising Cane's is really good.
Is good.
I like Raising Cane's.
Good chicken.
I do. I like Raising Cane's quite a bit. Although sometimes
Raising Cane's is fried chicken though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all the same fried chicken, man. I wish there was.
What is she bitching about?
What
are you crying
about? It's not fried chicken. It's roasted chicken.
Raising Cane's? No, it's definitely fried.
They sell fried, but I think it's known for their roasted chicken.
No, they're definitely known for their fried chicken, bro. That's what they sell is chicken feet.
Loses her mind.
It's another dog.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe what my mom was trying to tell me, they're known for their chicken breast rather than any chicken sandwiches.
Yeah, it's chicken fingers is what it is, and it's fried, and it's great. I like it, but I don't know. There's just something about Chick-fil-A chicken that I actually really like. But I like grilled chicken better. Bernie, hopefully, he'll be working at a grilled chicken place here soon, and
Hopefully.
Yeah, let's hope. Let's really hope on that. But I like grilled chicken a lot. All right, so we're the Grinders. We're gonna be starting here real soon. We got tons to go over. It's gonna be a fun show. I'm gonna be doing Break. Did you see season 11 of Walking Dead yet? All of it? Breakman? Did we lose Break?
Mm-hmm.
Son of Beach. I think we might have lost Break.
He's here. He's in the bathroom.
Oh, I got you. He had to poop. What's up, Mrs. Break?
You know, When it comes to ROM hacking, I rarely ever hear of fan dubs being done for a game. But Mega Man Legends 2 got a Portuguese fan dub.
That's cool.
Breakman, did you hear that?
What? Who?
Mega Man Legends 2 gets a Portuguese fan translation and dub.
That's kind of cool, actually, if you think about it.
That almost never happens, in a ROM hacking scenario where they'll do a fan dub of the game while they're fan translating it.
Hey, Break.
At this point, I would just be happy if Capcom acknowledging that Mega Man exists.
Yeah, I know. Hey, Break. Did you get a chance to watch season 11 of Walking Dead?
Yeah, I watched all Walking Dead.
Okay, I can't wait to review it.
I'm pretty sure there's stuff in the pipeline. It's just they want to go all in on the marketing for the Legacy Collection.
What?
Did you read the comic?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
So
yes.
I read the comic too. I read the entire thing and the show. So we can actually compare and contrast.
Yeah, absolutely.
I haven't read or seen shit yet.
Yeah, well, you might take the headphones off for this. It's going to be spoiler heavy.
Yeah, I think I'll just leave the show at that point.
leave the entire show, period. Yeah. Okay.
Walking off of this motherfucker.
I'm walking off. No, you can't walk off, man. You got to be around for the free for all, Eric. All right.
Mute off.
Let's get started, guys. I got something kind of sort of special planned here. So here we go. All right. Let's get started. You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me check.
Damn it.
Yep, I'm ready.
You son of a bitch. You like my tweet earlier, Break?
Yeah, I like
It was pretty fun. All right, here we go. Oh, shit. I don't want that cough on there. How dare you, Break Man? You son of a bitch.
You don't want to get on-air COVID.
I know. Here we go. And welcome, everybody, to another edition of RPGrinders of Friday the 13th edition, episode 723. I'm your host, Frank Branches, alongside my trusty cohorts, Eric the Great and Breakman the Bold. Gentlemen, how are you on this lovely Friday the 13th?
You mean it's not Friday the 14th?
Yeah, no, it's not.
And I know Brick has a problem with feet, so that's why I mentioned it.
I know. Don't mention feet.
I don't have a problem with feet. I just I don't think
they're
fetish. I don't see them as a fetish.
Yeah, I agree with you, Break. Actually, I mean, feet are probably the ugliest part of the human body. I would say. I'm just saying. Ooh, spooky. I got some sound effects from Friday the 13th.
Did they actually manage to get the game up and running before today?
It was up and running last I checked. But last I checked, also all my stats were reset too. So.
I know, that's fucking.
So they didn't fix that yet?
I don't know. I haven't tried it since last week.
He's been so disappointed.
Today is Friday the 13th. I'm gonna try it to show. Right
on. Well, we got lots of stuff to discuss today, gentlemen. A few news stories, and I've got it's going to be something, a review of The Walking Dead Season 11 and the series as a whole. I'm sure Breakman and I are going to have a ton of fun with that. But without further ado, let's get to the news and get on with the show.
RPG News.
Scotima's in chat. He says jazz hands. What's up, Scotoma? Nice to have you in here. All right, Eric, let's get started here.
Action RPG Rear Sakai coming to Nintendo Switch in Japan in 2023, developed by Rune Factory 5 Studio Hakama. That's an interesting name, Rear Sakai. Hopefully in the game we learn the lesson or reasoning for that, but I guess Sakai means world, and so I'm guessing it's like kind of like Dark World or something, or Reverse World.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe it's a play on words like that. Yeah.
But anyways, it features artwork by Shie Nanahara and Minako Iwasaki, as well as music compositions by Motoi Sakuraba. English localization has not been announced because these usually come later.
Yeah.
And I don't think the companies like this are at the point where they can do simultaneous releases.
Yeah. No gameplay, right?
Nope. Just in a reveal.
Yeah, I saw this little teaser trailer and there was nothing in there as far as gameplay, but I'm sure it'll be decent. We probably won't see it until at the very earliest 2024. I'm guessing 2025, but another interesting thing to keep our eyes on. Anything else on that, Eric?
No, not really.
All right, Breakman, do you have your news stories up?
Coming to us live from Moshuku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation, Quest of Memories.
Tensei.
Yeah.
Damn it, I was so close.
I know.
Quest of Memories announced for PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, and...
Sai is S-A-I, by the way.
Yeah, there's a little bit of lag, Skodom. I'm sorry. Try refreshing, bro. I mean, it's everything looks okay on my end, but I did notice that it's getting a little bit of lag. Fault. Yeah, it's Twitch's deal today, man. You can't blame us today. So hang with us, Skodom. Hopefully they'll fix it.
YouTube station.
I haven't checked. Yeah, you try the YouTube, Skodom. I mean, we are live on YouTube as well. Although keep this chat up. Like pop out the chat and go to YouTube, see if that's any better for you. That might be a little bit better today. I don't know. Check it out. We are simulcasting too,
AGDQ is still going on until the end of tomorrow. So maybe most of the traffic's going there.
Yeah, possibly. All right.
It's congesting Twitch.
Break. What you got?
I love the developer name or publisher name, Bushy Road. Bushy Road Games and developer Lan Kars. I don't know, but Bushy Road. That's a pretty awesome name.
It's Bushy, by the way.
Yeah, Bushy Road.
It's Bushy.
Yeah, it's Bushy, man. Come on. This is
Bushy is like has to do with samurai.
I think it's bougie. That's what I think it is. Bougie.
I think it's Booty. It's Booty Road.
Booty. Yeah, I like Booty Road
so this
even
is
better.
The novel, the manga, and anime series. Yeah, we don't really have any details on it.
This is an anime I'm curious about, but I'm also afraid because of things I've heard about it.
I've seen it. I liked it. But he is a little pervert. That's for sure.
Yeah.
There's no holding that back.
Yeah. Skodoma says Bushido. I like burrito better, or burrito. I mean that works for me. But anything else on this break?
No, it's a pretty much a non-story. Is there anything in this trailer, or is it?
No, I watched the trailer and I just played it again.
I know Tensei means wars, but I don't know what the translation from Mushoku means.
Yeah.
So if they're going by the plot of like the first season, I'm guessing it's gonna be like the three main characters: the boy, the girl, and then the
old dude.
Yeah, the old guy. I forget what he's called. Like he's some sort of like he's a race of people that everyone's afraid of. I forget what it's called.
Standard fare. It's kind
of.
It's
called the Quest of Memories. So I'm guessing you're reliving events from the anime.
Yeah. All right. Next story comes to us from RPGsite.net. Do I still have you guys? What's going on with this audio? Hello.
That's kind of what One Piece Odyssey is too. So it's like an opportunity for them to get newcomers into One Piece by having them revisit all the plot points of the previous arcs.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
I don't know what the hell is going on here. Everything is laggy. I think Skodom was right. Everything's lagging, man. I don't know what the hell's going on here. Let me try refreshing.
I figures the one night I don't have a problem logging in.
Yeah, of course I'm going to have. Yeah, exactly. Mercenaries Lament, Silver Wolf, and the 7 Stars of the Maiden announced for Nintendo Switch and PS4. Set to release for the Switch in Japan on February 9th. Strategy RPG will also come to PlayStation 4 at a later date. So again, this is kind of a non-story. We'll get this if we get this, probably next year.
We probably will because we've gotten all the other ones so far.
Okay, well, most likely yes then. So there you go. I'm not even gonna mess around with video today, guys. It's really laggy. It's really bad. All right. Can you guys hear me, or is it still?
Yeah. I'm just having pop-up ads here. Come on.
Yeah, I know. All right, Eric, next story, please.
The next story is from RPG site, and it's about a game called Volsurk: Monster in Lands Unknown. It's for mobile devices and PC, and it's an action RPG. So, monster raising action RPG. English language update coming in the future. So, if you don't mind downloading the Japanese release, you could play it in English before waiting for an official English release.
Yeah.
But it's a mobile game. And
right.
It kind of looks like it plays a bit like Monster Hunter Stories, from what I can tell.
Okay. Well, I mean, I can't. Okay, Scotoma can hear us. Right on, Scotoma. Sorry for the delay, dude. There's just some weird shit going on. I don't know if it's Twitch or what it is, but some weird stuff going on here. Breakman, you have the next story?
I'm going to just live from RPG site. Moth Kubit is a Kafka-esque RPG where you play as an insect in a corporate world. That's kind of redundant. It's released in 2024 for PC.
Well, what kind of insect, though? There's like nice, good insects. Mosquitoes? That's probably the best way. The vampires.
No, we're not really bloodsuckers. You're more like ants.
Or flies.
Yeah. The game is described as Kafka-esque RPG about a corporate life as an ordinary insect involving puzzles, interacting with bug coworkers, and a combat system known as Love Sick Disorder, where you must persuade your coworkers. What? That sounds interesting. That's a different kind of game right there. This is about corporate life as an ordinary person, as an ordinary insect. I don't need to read that. This is
you're good, man. I mean, it looks interesting. I think that looks cool. I mean, it kind of reminds me. I mean, not obviously in style or anything like that, but just like the idea of like a whole world of bugs, like Hollow Knight. You know, where it's all bugs. It's kind of cool. So
Bug's Life.
Yeah, Bug's Life. There you go.
Ants.
Yeah. I always thought that.
What's a Kubit anyway?
I have no idea.
Ants is the only Woody Allen movie I actually liked. It's not this movie he just stars.
I know. Isn't that the one with Sylvester Stallone, that animated? Yeah. I like that movie too. I think it's a little underrated, but I always thought that they should do a strategy RPG based on ant life. You know, not even insect life, just ant life. And then like go through all the, because ants, man, it's crazy.
There was Sim-Ant back in the 90s.
Yeah,
remember that?
Yeah, Sim-Ant. I remember that. I never played it, but I do, do remember that. All right, you guys remember the Monster Hunter game where you put in different CDs and it would make a monster for it? Do you remember that, Eric? What for what system? That's the question.
I was reading something. I got distracted.
He says, you guys remember the Monster Hunter game where you put in different CDs?
Yeah, that's Monster Hunter, or Monster Rancher, not Monster Hunter.
Yeah, Monster Rancher. Yeah. Monster
that was
Rancher.
a PlayStation original game or PlayStation 2?
Pretty sure.
PlayStation and PlayStation 2, because there was a sequel.
Yeah. Yep, PlayStation 2, Skonoma says. I believe it was for Play. Yeah. It was Monster Rancher. Yeah. All right. Whose turn is it?
Monster Rancher 1 and 2 were PlayStation games, and I think there was like a Monster Rancher game that wasn't 3, but it was for the PS2.
Yeah.
How did they form your monsters from that? Like you get like rap music and like your guy gets buff or something, or like you listen to country and like you can slow down time. Like how does that work? Like,
I don't know, but
I think maybe certain genres produce certain characters more often than others, and it was based on RNG after that.
Rock and roll will give you horns and a tail.
Yeah, maybe that would be cool. Like you put in a Slayer CD and it like gives you horns and makes you an evil character. You put in like Justin Bieber and you're like I don't know, a fairy pixel guy or something. I don't know. You know.
Each band gives you different things. So, like, say if you put in like, say Megadeth, like you're gonna get like 12-foot long horns and shit, you know. Or if you put in like Nickelback, you'll get like an inch long horn.
When they ported those two games to Switch, instead you're putting in codes from a database.
Yeah.
Online, and they produce basically the same effect without actually having to put the disc in. Because you can't.
Freak5 says Mrs. Freak loved that game, the Monster Rancher. Yeah. All right, who did this story? Was that you, Break? Moth Coop?
Maybe.
Or no, I think it was Eric.
What are we on now?
I don't know. Go ahead and take the next one, Break. Shit.
I don't know what the next one is. Did we do the
East?
Oh, no. Retro Throwback. 8-Bit Adventures. That's yours, Break.
Okay. I'm loading that one now.
All right.
I'm loading everything now. Wow, what is going on? Like, everything in the world, the internet's slow, but my computer's working?
That's, dude,
It loaded
weird.
this right away.
What the hell is going on? It's Bizarro World today, man. I swear, because everything, like all my video is like lagging, even though I have like a lot of speed. My computer's like slower. I mean, I think you infected all of our computers, Break. And
oh, that's what's going on. Like, my computer's not faster. Everybody else is just slower now.
Right.
The great Bacon decided to shift the curse.
I know. He's shifting it to us, Break, man. God damn it, man.
It's like it follows. Like I've given it
right,
away.
You've given it to us. Damn it. And we didn't even have sex, and you gave it to us. Damn it.
I want to play the first 8-Bit Adventures.
I do. I think it looks cool. All right, go ahead, Break. Sorry.
RPG coming to us live from RPG site. Retro throwback style RPG 8-Bit Adventures 2 launches for PC on January 31st. Console versions for PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, all the Xboxes, and Nintendo Switch will be out later this year. 8-Bit Adventures 2 is a retro throwback style RPG with a visual style reminiscent of classic Dragon Quest or Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. However, this classic aesthetic is paired with more modern sensibilities, such as the ability to save anywhere and no random encounters. Thank you, God. While the game is technically a sequel to 8-Bit Adventures: The Forgotten Journey, the developer states that newcomers can start this one.
Yeah, I don't mind random encounters if they're done right. If it's done like I don't know, Dragon Warrior 3 or something, where every 2 steps you're getting a random encounter, it's not fun. But I never minded it, you know.
I can tolerate those old games that are like that, you know, because that's what they are, like Final Fantasy and 1 through like 7 or 1 through 8 or 9, really. I guess there's a lot, but you know, there's like random encounters. But in a new game, hell no, I'm not tolerating it.
Yeah, I guess you're right. We talk about it all the time. Retro's fine, I guess, but at least have modern sensibilities about it, you know. So it seems like they're doing that with this. So cool. All right, I'm gonna do this next story. It's about Ease 9. Shut up, Breakman. How dare you, son of a bitch.
I thought you were going to make a game about Yeez's Gama.
Shut up, Eric. You're stupid. Ease 9. Monstrum Nox launches for PlayStation 5th in North America on May 9th. So that's pretty much, and it's May 12th in Europe. So this is cool. This is, I mean, the Ease series is, I think, Eric, maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think the E series has firmly planted itself at or near the top of RPGs, you know. Breakman says Eve's boobs. How dare you?
It's definitely getting bigger.
Well, I said at or near. I didn't, you know, I didn't say like it's Final Fantasy yet, you know, but I think the scope of it is pretty big and is up there with anything. But, you know, I think it's slowly becoming one of the favorites of RPG players across the globe. So there you go. I mean, we can expect this here soon. So there you go. All right, Eric, next story, please.
Next story is Puzzle Bobble Every Bubble.
Oh, Jesus.
This they're getting crazier and crazier. But it includes a Puzzle Bobble versus Space Invaders mode.
I am interested in that. There was no video of that, but there isn't any. But
and this is apparently to celebrate Space Invaders' 45th anniversary.
Oh, I see. They got little Space Invaders inside the bubbles. That's really cool. I like that. That's a classy, nice
so
throwback
you're killing
touch.
the invaders by just doing a normal puzzle bobble game.
Yeah. I mean, that's actually a nice little touch. That's really cool. So
can we have another mode where it's like different, where it's like you're trying to shoot the ships with the bubbles or something?
Yeah, I mean I guess that's what you're kind of doing with this, but they're stationary. They're not moving at all.
That's just the only
Well,
game.
no, I'm sure. Well, just like Puzzle Bobble and Space Invaders, the tile and mass of bubbles will slowly cave in on you if you don't get rid of them. But
That might be the deal with it. Yeah. I mean, there's no video to show you guys, but cool.
I kind of like them to be able to shoot at you to like screw up your aim or something.
Oh, that would be kind of cool. Like if they happen to land on you, it kind of messes up your aim a little bit. That'd be cool.
Or you can use power-ups to get rid of extra ones.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
I want to play as the aliens. That's never been done in Space Invaders, right? I want to be bad guys.
Like an online game where you play as the alien, and there could be like
kind of like the Pac-Man versus.
Yeah, exactly like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool. All right. Wow, I just saw Dragon Quest series new smartphone title presentation.
I just think it's funny that it's called Every Bubble, and Bubble has an exclamation point in the title.
Wow. It sounds like they thought they were being really clever with the name. They out-clevered themselves, maybe.
Yeah.
I like Space Invaders Extremes. This is like just another variation of that with another franchise that Taito owns.
Yeah. All right, Eric, I believe you have the kill all humans, Scotoma says. Yeah. All right. Eric, you have the honor of the last story.
Review Starlight is getting a visual novel game for the Switch and PC. Another Bruce wrote article. I should just throw them all together. I didn't think about that, but it was from the Grisaia developer Frontwing, and winter 2023 in Japan. So probably I'm gonna say February, but no word on localization.
Yeah.
And if anybody is aware of who Tatsuo Higuchi is, they're their director for this game.
Yeah.
But I don't. Maybe somebody could answer me.
No, I'm thinking Eric and
our audience wouldn't know.
Yeah, no. I wouldn't be able to tell you, Eric. We are all ugly, Scotoma says.
I still want to watch Review Starlight on High Dive at some point.
Yeah. Not much gameplay there, but, that's my big... What are you saying, Breakman? Always kill the hot chicks. I know, man. That is true, man. Like, I mean, we always have the final girl to lean on, but I mean, just kill all the dudes first, at least, so we have more to look at during the movie. That would probably keep my attention a little bit more, Break. I agree, Break. Totally. All right. That's the news, guys. No more news.
No, what they need to do is they need to make a horror movie where every human dies except the dog, so we have a final dog instead.
Yeah, I agree. That would be cool too. The dogs always get killed too, man. That's something else. That sucks. Because the hot chicks are always dumb. Yeah, but see, we should do that. We should write a movie, Breakman, and Eric, where of course the chicks are dumb because that's how they always get portrayed on screen, but they're the only ones that survive, like type thing. All the guys are super smart and end up getting killed anyways. That would be cool. All right, let's move on this Friday the 13th on to what do we got here? Homie discounts. I don't think we know the new games yet. I don't know if you guys know any homie. You guys have any homie discounts?
No.
All right. Eric, anything?
Yeah, let's see. I've got PlayStation Plus game catalog for this month.
Oh, yeah, that's right. What do we got there?
So this is for people who have the extra or premium tiers. Back for Blood for PS4 and PS5. Devil May Cry 5 for the PS4. Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition for the PS5, Dragon Ball Fighter Z for the PS4, Erica, also PS4. I don't think there's a PS5 version of that yet.
No.
Jet, The Far Shore for PS4 and 5. Just Cause 4, Just Cause 4 Reloaded, Life is Strange for the PS4, Life is Strange Before the Storm for the PS4, and Omno for the PS4.
Yeah.
And the Classics catalog includes Hot Shots Golf 2, Star Wars Demolition, Siphon Filter 3. They're doing what Nintendo's doing with its Nintendo Switch Online, and they're just trickling out things that are just basically crap most of the time.
Yeah.
I forgot they made a Star Wars car combat game.
Yeah.
Completely forgot about that turd.
Yeah.
I wanted to like it. I mean, Star Wars and car combat, like, yes!
Should have been really fun, but it wasn't, you know.
It wasn't.
All right, Breakman, do we have anything Dear Breakman-wise?
No.
Oh, darn it. All right, let's move on.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Inquiring minds want to know what you've been playing, Breakman.
Okay, mostly just a couple games, mostly Blasphemous, a lot of Blasphemous. Mostly because I got stuck on a part. It was really fucking hard. There are these. I guess they're kind of optional. I don't think you have to complete them to get the game, but maybe to get the best ending. But these side quests where it's you going on a timed kind of adventure. You're just trying to get through the puzzles. You're not fighting anything. You're just like running and jumping and trying to die in spikes and stuff like that.
Oh,
but it has to
God.
be done pretty much perfectly, or you're gonna fucking die.
Spike should be outlawed from video games, period.
Like a couple hours of this, like supposed to be in like 2 minutes, like over and over and over again. And I was like, I'm like, fuck. Then I got more left, and I'm like, nope. I'm gonna play something.
They'll never outlaw spikes from video games. The most they'll do is just remove the death penalty, and it'll just respawn where you fell to your death.
I mean, that would be much better. Just fuck. Spikes suck.
We'll lose like time or something.
Yeah, I guess. All right.
I do like one of the special abilities you can get in Blasphemous. Like, you know how like every game there's the bottomless pits and shit like that, and there'll be like a bottomless pit like above a level you just went over. That's always bothered me. Well, in this game you can get an item that'll let you go through. You know, there's no actual bottomless pits in this game.
It's the only way to fully explore a game. In fact,
it's stupid to need bottomless pit thing. But
yeah,
I get it in NES days, but today, like, come on.
Yeah, right. Anything else you've been playing, Bree?
And the other game I've been playing is Carmageddon. You know, just running shit over. And that's a game where I can just like relax and let my brain just go like melt and just
Carmageddon. Yeah, you know, that's why I don't get why people get so upset with like the violence in video games and like over the top gore, blood, and stuff like that. It's just like. I mean, it's so stupidly mindless, right? Same thing with movies. Like, why do people love horror movies? Because they can just, for the most part, just shut off their brain and watch it. You know, I mean, just, I don't know. I'm with you, Break. Like, I like games like that. You know,
it's because people want to blame something and they don't want to take blame and responsibility for themselves. So they want, you know, it's obvious in the movies. It's the comic books. It's rock and roll.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. It's Dungeons and Dragons. It's
right.
Yeah. All right, Eric, what you been playing, man?
I played a little bit more Bloodborne over the weekend. I didn't finish the Arcane run because I got to the point where, I could basically kill everything now. So I'll just move on to my Blood Tinge run. Yeah,
I watched a top 10. I think it was a What Culture video. Top 10 hardest first levels in video games, and of course Bloodborne was on that list, man. And I totally agree with that.
I just did the setup for the Blood Tinge run. I haven't really started it, but took a bit of prep because stupid monsters I was trying to kill to get the right blood gems to, because they do most of the damage in the game because they really up your percentage for damage in that game more than anything else does. But after that, I decided to play some more of the Valis collection, not as much as I had hoped, but I was just killing time. I was waiting for the One Piece game to come out, but I might continue it, but and just play that afterwards because I'm kind of invested in it now. But I was playing Dragon Quest XI-S on my Steam Deck.
Oh, cool. Cool.
And I've been watching a lot of Batman Brave the Bold, trying to get through seasons 2 and 3.
Yeah. Before they take it off.
Yeah, so I'm probably going to dedicate the rest of the weekend to getting that show and at least Justice League cleared.
When is the cutoff date? When is HBO killing them?
The end of the month.
End of the month? Okay, cool. Because I've been watching Justice League.
Yeah, there's like 2 seasons of both of those. So
where are they going, to Amazon, or do you guys
They're
know
just getting
where?
rid of them.
Are you kidding?
No, they're shopping them to other places, but there's nobody's bought them yet. So
God, Warner Brothers is completely stupid, man. They had a good thing going with HBO.
I heard Velma completely sucks.
Oh, they also added. This month added $1 to the price. So that's awesome.
We're gonna take away shit.
And my plan that I was currently on is now the ad version, so I get ads. Yay!
I know. Fuck. Freak says I've been playing a great game this week, and then he never said what he was playing. So, download that.
I downloaded this app. I do quests for people. Was it what's that called?
Uber.
DoorDash. Uber.
Yeah.
One of those.
Yeah. DoorDash, Uber. You know which one? Oh man.
Lyft. Do they still have
Lyft? Yeah,
still
Lyft. Yeah. Uber Eats. You know, all those. Yeah. Is that the one that you do quests for people? Freak 5. Which one is it, man? All right.
Real money for these quests. Yeah, it's sounding more than DoorDash. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So do you steal any of the fries?
Yeah, I know. Still a couple fries here and there.
Hey, how come I only got a 9-piece nugget? Oh.
Just wait, somebody will make a DoorDash simulator or something like that.
Oh, I'm sure there already is one, Eric.
I got Diner Dash, and I hate that game.
Oh, Diner Dash, yeah. I think Bernie used to play that a lot. Like celebrities would visit your cafe or whatever. I don't know, diner, but.
No.
All right. I've been playing more of Resident Evil Village, and I like it. Just that, like I said, that first part was a bitch, and I don't even know how I survived that. A timed event. I mean, I was getting my ass kicked left and right, but I got through that, and I solved a couple of puzzles in the mansion, and went out of the mansion, went back in because I realized I might be getting into some sort of fucking boss battle. The chicks kicked my ass, so I was like, don't go down that hallway and then sure enough, I forget about that hallway and go down there and they kick my ass, so it's like whatever. Freak says the only bad part is smelling food you can't eat. I know that sucks, man.
Right, quote unquote, can't eat.
Right. I mean, how do they know? I mean, Freak 5, you sneak a fry here and there, they're not gonna know, man. Come on.
Excuse me, sir. Did this sandwich come with a bite in it? Oh yeah, I saw him do it at the restaurant.
Yeah, that's the extra added. You paid for that extra, so can't blame them, and you can't blame me, But yeah, so I've been having a good time with Resident Evil Village so far, other than getting my ass kicked a couple of times. So there you go. All right, let's move on.
Like Blasphemous is kicking the shit out of me, but it's like, this game's still so much fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of Blasphemous is fun, man. I just got my ass kicked one too many times and decided, you know what? I'm gonna move on to something else and get back to it. It's like
I'm close to the end, but I'm trying to do like all the side quests and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think I skipped something on accident, and I can't go back and do it. I have to do it in the second playthrough, I guess.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Trying to do these action sequences, like, oh fuck me.
Yeah.
It's intentionally hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate that in video games. I wish they would change that one thing in video games going forward, like. Like not being able to go back to get an achievement or some special item or something. I mean, it is modern gaming. I mean, I think we could get rid of that thing and move on. But I don't know. Whatever. Let's move on to reviews. If my soundbite ever plays, come on.
RPGrinders reviews.
All right, Break. Do you have any reviews this week?
Well, I guess I can review some stuff here. I know you wanted to talk about The Walking Dead. We'll get to that, I guess, because I've been watching some horror stuff too, and since we got Shudder, we talked about that.
You got Shudder?
Yeah, we talked about that. It's part of we got it with AMC.
Yes.
So we've been watching. We've had it. We talked about this, Frank.
I don't remember talking about it, but that's awesome, man. I'm happy. Anyways.
So anyway, Shudder, instead of like watching any of the movies, we've been watching like some of the clip shows, I guess. I don't know what else to call them, like the Eli Roth shows where he's interviewing people and they're talking about movies.
Oh yeah.
And they did 101 scariest movie scenes.
Mm-hmm.
That was good. Yeah. It's like 5-part episodes and 101 movies all over the world, not just American movies.
Yeah.
But can you guess what the scariest movie is of all? Well, you know what? I don't want to spoil it. You should watch it.
I mean, I'm gonna guess they say Exorcist or something, but whatever.
It's subjective because it's based on opinion as to what's scary and stuff like that. But those are the kind of shows I can watch and like or no bullshit, like screw you, man. That's horse shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree 100%. So anyway, we were watching that and we're watching another one, and it kind of made us want to watch some horror movies. And we found out most of them we can't stream anywhere for whatever fucking various reason bullshit.
Yeah. Like which ones?
I can't remember what they were. But the one we were finally able to find was something that came out about 11 years ago. Neither one of us had seen it, and might as well say the name of it, Cabin in the Woods.
Oh, and what'd you think of that?
I really liked it. I like how they subverted a lot of the tropes of horror movies. They kind of made that like a joke of it, of the tropes.
Yeah. Plus, it actually had a little decent ending. I kind of liked the ending of that.
Oh yeah, I did like the ending too. Like it, and people are saying like sequel. I'm like, what's the sequel?
There's no sequel. The world is
pretty much they gave up at the end and let the monsters in.
It's done. That's it. They ended it perfect. I thought it was a perfect ending. I mean, you can't really say that about many movies, And
it's one of those movies where a lot of horror movies you're watching them like, well, I should say most people are watching them like, oh God, don't go in there, like that person, don't kill that person type stuff. Or like those of us who are watching them like to see the cool kills.
Right.
But this one, there are people in it who you so badly want to see get killed.
Yeah.
Like the people who are watching it and they're just subjecting the kids to all this torture and they're betting on it and stuff.
I know, and you're
like, oh my God, like I want the monsters to unleash hell on them.
And even the kids themselves, you want to fucking kill too. It's like fuck. Like, yeah, but I agree with you, man. Like the people betting, like fuck all of them, like the assholes,
Like I can't wait till you guys die. You fucking deserve it.
I love one death in it. I mean, I don't think it's spoilers at this point, 11-year-old movie, but I like the mermaid kill. I thought that was funny as fuck, man. That's really funny.
I think Mrs. Brightman called it like he's gonna die that monster. I'm like,
yeah. Freak 5 says I want to see movies about the different monsters in Cabin in the Woods. That would be cool. How they got it like captured and stuff. Like they even had like
like a prequel movie and
stuff. Yeah.
That's interesting because you can't do a sequel, but a prequel you could do.
No, you could actually do a series on it. How each of these monsters got. I think that would be cool.
I want to know more about the fake Cenobite.
Yeah, me too. I was just about ready to say that. There's even a fake Cenobite in there. Scotoma says, or at least pepper spray. He's talking about Freak 5 because Freak 5 had said, I'm thinking about getting a taser in case I have a random encounter. That would be funny, man.
Random encounters.
Yeah, DoorDash is a nice way to make money. It doesn't feel like I'm working, just driving around listening to audiobooks and podcasts. Yeah, I know. I mean, but it's still work, I mean, it does have its downsides.
And you're delivering to the wrong places. So you got to find the ones where the wives are home alone bored because their rich husbands are off working. They're 12-hour jobs, stuff
Right,
like that.
and they're really hot, and they invite
really
you in.
bored, and they've just been wearing their bathrobes all day long because.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what you're supposed to be delivering to.
Right. I mean, that's the way it should be. All right. Anything else you want to review, Break?
No, that's it.
Yeah. Skodoma says, been catching up on Walking Dead since Negan arrived is when I stopped watching it back in the day. Hey, Skodoma, you're going to want, when we get to my review, you're going to want to take the headphones off for a second because I'm going to be going over the whole series and season 11. So just when we get to, I'll give you a warning, Skodoma.
Yeah, did you read the comics, Skodoma? Me and Frank did.
So. Yeah, I read the, yeah. All right, anything else, Break?
No.
All right, Eric, you have a review.
Yeah, I saw Shin Ultraman. I mean, I didn't go to the theater to see it because I don't like Fathom Events 7:00 at night schedules. Fuck them. And I wasn't feeling that great that day, and it was the only day the Japanese language version was playing. Because the other day was English, and I think dubbing live action movies is just a bad idea.
Yeah. Which we're going to talk more about dubbing.
Because there's a disconnect between what the characters should be saying and having somebody else talk for them.
Yeah.
I mean, it works in anime because they don't care about the thing in the first place because you're not actually seeing the actors talk.
Yeah.
But, anyways, this is, I don't know if it's, like, supposed to be, like, a return to its roots type of movie, but, like, it is called Shin Ultraman, and it's set up kind of like Shin Godzilla, where, like, they basically retell the first film, but, like, they do it in such a way where the government's heavily involved in how they deal with the kaiju crises that have happened.
Yeah.
And they eventually run into contact with extraterrestrials, and a lot of these guys have agendas to want to control the planet or destroy the planet.
Right.
And so there's like 3 acts of him taking care of kaiju, him taking care of somebody who wants to destroy humanity, and the other one wanting to just basically have whole dominion over the entire planet. And him dealing with all those threats.
Yeah.
And it was interesting. I mean, I'm not big on the Ultraman. This is like the first Ultraman thing I've really seen other than the brief TV series that they showed back during Saturday mornings where they doomed it to failure because it was on a time slot that was just not acceptable for anybody to reasonably watch.
Yeah.
But it was I feel like it was a more or less a recreation of like maybe the first major plot line in the original series. Mm-hmm. Because his design looks very reminiscent of that, but it's like sleeker.
Yeah. I heard nothing but good things. Are these the same people that made Shin Godzilla, Eric? Do you know?
Not sure, but I think Hideki Anno was the director, and he directed both of those films, so that's probably why.
Okay. Because I actually, I'm gonna get to Shin Godzilla because I did see Shin Godzilla finally. I bought that movie long ass time ago, and never had time to.
No, wait, no. Higuchi did this movie, but I think he had some assistance from Hideki Anno, because Hideki Anno actually played as Ultraman in one of the like many Ultraman series. Like I think the first colorized Ultraman series, maybe back in the 70s, and it's got like pretty good soundtrack. It's a weird eclectic mix of classic Ultraman music from the era that it came back in. So you hear a lot of classical orchestra being played, or then it will switch to jazz, and then it'll like do heavy metal when the action stuff starts happening. But it's all very good. But the designs of the monsters, well, they're just basically Ultraman monsters, so they're nothing special, but they're still good looking. It's like you could tell that there's modern improvements, but it was also filmed in such a way to kind of give it that old school looking feel. Because I think they like did something to the coloring to like make it look, and maybe adding film grain in some places. And I think purposely making the movie 1080p and not 4K to give it a certain feel.
Okay.
But I'm gonna give this a 9.
Okay, that's a really good score, Eric. I mean, and it's right in line with what people are saying about Shin Ultraman. They're saying really, really good things. So
Yeah, it'll probably show up on a streaming service eventually, but
yeah.
I think the disc release of this movie is probably sometime in late February. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna say like March or April for the streaming date.
Yeah. All right. Any other reviews, Eric?
No.
All right. Real quickly, you mentioned Shin Godzilla. I meant to do a review of that a long time ago. I was really surprised by it because I was not expecting it to be like an origin story of Godzilla, sort of. Also, it really didn't have much to do with Godzilla as much as it had to do with like politics and certain things. I mean, I kind of liked it. I thought it was really good. I think you gave it a 9 out of 10 as well, Eric. And I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10 as well. I did think it was kind of goofy at the beginning, like to see Godzilla go from like a goofy, like googly-eyed, like kind of monster into Godzilla, and then obviously they take care of the threat at the end of this movie.
The point was like he needed to like go into like his larval state.
You're right. Right. But that's the only problem I had with it. Like, if Godzilla was that easy, I mean, I wish they wouldn't have ended it the way that they did and just had Godzilla go off into the sea and keep track of him or whatever and whatever. But I don't know. Overall, I really like Shin Godzilla. I think it's a good take on.
I can't wait till the new Godzilla movie comes out.
Yeah.
Freak the new Toho one. I mean.
Yeah. Me too. Freak just sent me. I don't know.
I'm also excited with the Legendary Pictures one with Kong again.
Oh yeah, me too, man. Kong versus Godzilla 2. Yeah, for sure. What the hell is that, Freak? It looks amazing. Like maybe like a grilled cheese with onion rings and looks like maybe manwich on it. I don't even know what it is, but it looks good. I can't eat hamburger if that's what
American
that is.
poutine.
I don't know what it is, but it looks great, man. This looks really good. And then he's got fries covered, like you said, gravy. I don't even know what it is, but it looks good. So Scotum apparently doesn't care about spoilers. So this is a spoiler alert for The Walking Dead season 11 plus the series as a whole.
I'm gonna tune out. Let me know when I can come back.
Yeah. I'll put it in chat, Eric, or Break will. So we're gonna do. I'm gonna do both. I'm gonna do season 11, and then I'm gonna go over the whole series. Break. Feel free to chime in anytime. Obviously, you've seen it. So, but yes, this is a zombie burger. I guess Freak 5 said for lunch. Sweet heat chicken. Also poutine. So yeah, you were right. Okay. Season 11, I'm going to say I'm giving it a thumbs down overall. I thought it sucked, especially at the end. I don't know what the hype was for season 11 other than the series ending. I thought the writing was poor. I thought that certain scenarios were ridiculous. Like Bernie and I were watching, and even she's like the biggest Walking Dead fan ever. And even she was like laughing at certain scenarios that happened in season 11. And then when I was reading reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, it's getting like 80%. So for the most part, very positive. But I don't know what the hell they were watching. I mean, I really don't. I mean, I was sitting there and I was talking to Bernie and I'm like, you gotta be fucking serious. And then there were so many, I don't know why they did this. They could have kept this series going for at least 2 or 3 more seasons, and given time to each storyline. Like there was a whole new storyline with the Reapers. There was the Commonwealth went on. I mean, there were so many different subplots that were introduced in this season. My head was spinning in the middle of it. I was like, I told Bernie, I said, I can't wait till this series ends. I'm done. I don't want to see any of the sequels or the spin-offs. I want none of it. I don't want to see Daryl in France because I think he's... although Daryl is an interesting case study, guys. Like I first hated Daryl because, all the hype around him, but I'm like, he never says anything. He never really does anything major. But this year, I realized something about Daryl that I never really realized before, and it's to his, I don't know, like not detriment, but the opposite of detriment. Like he is probably without a doubt one of the smartest, if not the smartest characters in The Walking Dead. And this season proved it. Like there was a scene with what's his name, Eugene, where Eugene was trying to act like a big bad tough guy, and he knew that if he got into a fight with Daryl, that it would be a demolition. So, but that was the point. He wanted to get beat up by Daryl. For him to to not be able to go out and do anything because he's a coward. That's Eugene's kind of thing. He's always been a coward throughout his arc. But Daryl was like, go ahead and go. He wasn't going to put up any resistance, any of that. So he ended up just letting him go. And then, of course, Eugene was like, I'm a coward. And he finally admitted what everybody knew all along as the viewer, that he was basically a big coward. So I thought that was kind of the highlight of the whole season was, understanding that Daryl is yeah, of course, a badass. Like everybody in that series seems to like be a dead shot and hit everybody in one shot, yet the stormtroopers are stormtroopers, and I think they did that by design. They could never hit anything.
To be fair, like the characters like Daryl have a lot of practice, so he should be a big shot.
Yeah, I understand that, but I was talking to Bernie, and I was like, I know this is a TV show, but can we be a little realistic at times?
I
And
get it, because like I see all the time like perfect headshot.
Yeah, always. I mean, they never miss.
I wish I could get a perfect headshot every time.
I know. And then it's really weird. Like, I can't even do that in video games, Break, let alone fucking real life, right? So there was a scene, a car chase scene, where they're shooting at Negan, I think, and they shoot and shoot and shoot, and they shoot everything around the car except for the tires or the human being that they're trying to shoot. And it's like, I don't understand it. Like, I mean, and then another thing I noticed about the series as a whole, and it's really prominent in season 11, like they are so afraid to take any chances in this, right? I mean, even up till the end, I mean, they killed off a major character. Obviously, this is spoiler territory, but what's her name?
You know why they killed her off?
Why? Because
she asked it. They asked him to.
Yeah, she asked him to. So that's what I'm saying. Like,
I wanted closure for my character, and they're like, because they weren't gonna write, or like apparently, like they weren't gonna have any characters die. I guess. Yeah,
and Skodma says they shoot off the hip all the time. They don't really aim that good. That's another thing. Like, I mean, it's so unrealistic. Frank can't even headshot a Goomba. You're exiled, you son of a bitch, Freak 5.
One of the things with the series as a whole that annoyed me is sometimes they would go really slow and take their time, and then other times they sped up, and they did it at like the wrong times.
Yeah, that's another thing I want to talk about.
Too much time at the farm.
Yep.
And not enough time in prison.
Yeah, Break, I wanted to talk about that. You know what that is? That's lazy and bad writing is what that is. And it's like they realize halfway through, they're like, oh shit, we only have like 6 episodes to get this done, so we're going to cram it all into 6 episodes, And it's like, I was telling Bernie this, and she vehemently disagrees, but I got her to finally kind of see some of my points during this season. It's about pacing and timing and writing and all this stuff, right? And I know that you have deadlines, and you're on this huge series, and there's a lot writing on it and all of this, but
one of the things, and let me interrupt you real quick.
No, go ahead.
Irritated me with like the first season when they finally got to the prison is it seemed like they sped up the story that was in the comics.
Yeah.
And that's what they do in season 11. They try and speed it up to
get
through it.
Yeah.
The Commonwealth is a huge thing in the
comics. Yes.
And they don't really address it in the same way
like,
it's done in the comics.
Right. There's a whole arc about like them like having this secret prison where they send people to, and like knowing all the routes of the guards and all that. And that took, like you said, Break, that took time in the comics to kind of explain that and have them form some kind of plan to, like, figure all that shit out, right? But here it was like 2 episodes and they're already there. And it's like 2 episodes, that's a whole season. They could have easily have gotten at least 3 seasons out of this one season, which I think they should have done. I know the ratings were going down, and that's why they had to kind of wrap everything up in a nice little bow.
That's their own fault they saturated it.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Fear the Walking Dead and then that other show, and like Fear the Walking Dead would. There'd be like a couple good episodes, but for the most part, it was like, what the fuck am I watching?
Did Alpha's daughter ever lick Carl's socket like she did in the comic? No, that never happened. Man, it's just so bad. And then what they did with certain characters, like Gabriel.
One of my problems was with Carl himself, the actor, and even the actor himself admitted like that he kind of was like slacking towards the end.
Yeah, he was phoning it in.
I love him in the comics.
Yes.
He's like 8 years old through a lot. I think he starts at like 8 and you go to like 11 through most of it before the time jump.
Yeah.
And he is one of the most dark characters ever.
Yeah.
He's scary.
Yes. You could see the machinations of a psychopath in Carl in the comics. But they squandered that opportunity. And here's another thing they squandered, Breakman. They squandered Judith. Judith was a shining example of how they could continue this series forward, and a logical example, right? None of the series that they've announced, Negan and Maggie, right, which they didn't fucking do anything to address that. Like, Negan has a fucking wife, and he's got this whole redemption arc and all this, which is fine and good. I think he did, if I remember correctly, he did have a redemption arc sort of in the comic.
He does in the comics.
Yeah.
He has a similar arc as he does in the comics. And the comics end like with a huge time jump at the end.
Yes.
Like the show they time jump 1 year.
Yeah.
But that kind of bothered me while I was watching the Commonwealth episodes. Like you're talking about pacing.
Yes.
It seemed like each episode was like a month later or something like that. From the previous episode.
Yeah.
Like because they've been there for a while and they're established and such.
Yeah.
Like what's going on? Like and suddenly like the guy who didn't want to be a doctor.
Yes.
Like for like several episodes, and suddenly he's been a doctor for like years now.
Yeah.
Something like, what's going on?
I mean, it's weird pacing and writing, Breakman, and I was just baffled. I was like, this series is probably one of the most successful of all time, and they had infinite money for writers. I mean, and Angela Kang, bless her heart, she did the best with what she had. But they fucking, oh my God, man. Like there were so many times where I was like, this is the stupidest fucking series I've ever seen. There were during season 11, it cemented in my mind that The Walking Dead is one of the most overrated series I have ever watched in my life. And that's not hyperbole. That's just, I know it's subjective and maybe all that, but for me personally, it's one of the most overrated I've ever seen. Other than season 1, 2, and a few. I was talking to Bernie about this. I was like, "What season do you point to, Bernie?" And she said, "Season 6." And I can't remember. I think that was the prison one, or I can't remember where she explained it. And I was like, "Okay, there were a couple of cool episodes in that," but I looked it up, and it was like one of the lowest rated overall. I mean, just because you liked it doesn't mean that it was good, right? And I
a lot of. To me, there are a lot of good episodes.
Yeah.
There are also bad episodes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But see, take for instance, like I don't know if you saw the new Game of Thrones series break. Mm-mm. If you haven't, you really should, because it's fucking excellent. Like every single episode. I mean,
I'm trying to get rid of HBO. I'm trying to watch the stuff I already want to watch.
Dude, I'm telling you, before you get rid of HBO, you gotta watch House of the Dragon, dude. It is. It blew my mind how great that series. I did not expect much from it, and it was really, really, really excellently written, acted, everything. It's better than Game of Thrones as a whole. That series.
I do kind of want to wait until find out what they're doing with Titans and, of course, Doom Patrol. I need to know what's going on with Doom Patrol before I
know, but in the meantime, you really should check out how. I mean, it's only one season, dude, and it's jam packed with excellence all the way around, man. I don't think there's a weak episode in that whole thing. I mean, there's a couple of episodes that aren't quite great, but as a whole, that series is great, man. I mean, it's fucking awesome, man. I think I even like it a little bit better than Walking Dead, or not Walking Dead, Game of Thrones. And I really like Game of Thrones, except for the ending. The ending kind of sucked, but I didn't know. This season for me, I believe. I know this is controversial, but and then they did this thing where Judith, and I know in the comic it was Carl. They fast forwarded and it was Carl kind of reading the story of The Walking Dead, right? Well, in this one they kind of did something sort of similar. They had Judith kind of read like her journal or diary or something, and she was, basically it was a nostalgia thing for 4 or 5 episodes, and I'm like, I've had enough nostalgia. I just want to know what happens. Let's cut out all this fucking filler and begin to do actual good stuff so we can land this plane. And it crashed, man. I think it's below average.
As far as the comic, well, the comic really it gets really political, and it deals a lot with like classism and continuing the old ways and stuff like that.
Yep.
Without like having to do what they did into this one, which was they have just the governor just go totally evil. She was a bad person in the comics, but she wasn't evil.
Yeah. See, that's the one thing that I do. It would have ranked as bad for me if not for the fact that they did kind of point out, the old ways being the United States, capitalism and stuff like that, like pointing out how bad that is.
But they didn't. They only did it like slightly because they didn't take time to like build the story like they did in the comic.
Yep.
They rushed through it, and they instead of like having this story where they made their valid points about everything, and this one they just go to the end and say, well, look, obviously it's bad because she wants to protect only the elite people.
Right.
So
right.
This is what it is.
Yeah, they basically took a page from Romero's Land of the Dead, right? And they stuffed it in there instead of taking, like you said, and that's exactly what I was saying, Break. They should have broke it up into like 3 different seasons because they could have had 3 separate storylines, right? Like they could have tackled the capitalism all through one season. Then they could have did maybe the prison stuff, like where they were kind of having like a secret society prison, and then they could have ended it in another season. You know what I mean? Like they just screwed up, and they had 24 episodes and it's like most of those episodes were filler and dumb writing, and I am not excited for Daryl in France. I am not excited for Negan and Maggie, and they have another one I think going on too, and I'm not. Oh, the Rick and Michonne limited series, which I guess semi interested because at least they've had time to refresh and maybe go down that journey. And here's another stupid thing about season 11: none of those fucking people care about their kids. Not one. Maggie left her son how many fucking times to get kidnapped or taken prisoner. I mean, it was so utterly absurd and ridiculous. The first time that Mike...
I will say, as far as Maggie, like in the comic and the TV show, I can't stand either version of her. So I think they kind of nailed her as far as the
I mean, that's... I agree.
I can't stand Maggie. I hate her.
Yeah, she's not great. But she's a definite leader. I mean, that you can say. Whether or not she makes questionable choices, she definitely does.
Yeah.
Yeah. They really shit that show. It's Scotoma. Just wait till you get to it, dude. Just wait till you get to it, man. I mean, you're gonna have to finish it.
You're good things in it, and they did copy some of the things from the comic because of characters like Eugene. Like his story's similar to what it is in the comic, but there's no Rick, there's no Michonne, there's no Carl. Like the people that are main characters in the comic, just I think Eugene is the only one I can really think of
Yeah.
of the old ones.
Yeah.
I mean,
and then
Governor and her son are of course there, but like
yeah.
But like Ezekiel, he's dead. Negan's still alive.
Yeah. And
like,
Negan, like Jesus was an interesting character that they fucked up. I mean,
he was one of those guys who wanted out of the show too because he wasn't happy with his story arc.
Yeah, and
I was so excited when they brought him into the show, and then they just didn't use him.
Yeah, and they probably didn't pay him enough either to break. I mean, that's sad reality. But I mean, they just messed up thing after thing after thing, and it got to a point of ridiculousness where I turned to Bernie and I said, "This is." I think this is one of the most disappointing, worst written shows I've ever seen. I mean, I don't know how these seasons are. I mean, I think it's just hype. You know, people are so excited to see like a horror show doing so well, and it just is what it is. So
what about Ezekiel? Ezekiel's he lives in the show. In the comic, he died. I think he's killed. Yeah, he's killed by the Whisperers.
Yeah, and the same thing with fucking Gabriel. One of the most annoying characters out of all of them. Of all the ones they decided to not kill, it's Gabriel. You know, it's like, I mean, I can't tell you how much I can't stand that. I mean, he's a great actor, no doubt. Everybody is good at acting, but they don't have anything to work with the whole time. Like, it's just, I don't know. For me, season 11 gets a 4.5 out of 10. I thought it was below average. I'm not afraid to say it. And as far as the series goes, I'm gonna get an even 5. It's average. It's you can see better soap operas than you can that are better written than The Walking Dead, and that's saying a lot because a lot of soap operas are terrible. So, I mean, I think it's not worth anybody's time, to be honest with you. I think there are so many better things going. I mentioned Game of Thrones. I mean, other than the last half of the last season, I mean, Game of Thrones is excellent, but the House of Dragons starts off fucking strong, man. I mean, it is, to me, House of Dragons where it's at, man. I think that's, I mean, you want to see a series, watch House of Dragons. And I highly recommend it, Break, since you got HBO. Watch that before you get rid of it, man. You are not going to do yourself a disservice. It is so good, and the acting is. You think the acting in Walking Dead is good? Holy fuck! The acting in House of the Dragon is just. It is out of this world, man. I hope it cleans up at the whatever it is, not the Oscars, but the the TV equivalent of that. So So, anyways, the series as a whole, 5. I don't know. What would you give it? What would you give season 11, Break?
6, I think.
And then the series as a whole.
As a whole,
yeah.
A 7.5, because there are fantastic episodes and there are great actors in it. Melissa McBride, especially.
Oh, she's great. No doubt.
We're talking about her just facial expressions in one episode. Like, she didn't say a lot, but she emoted so much emotion just for her face. Yeah.
No, she's great. No doubt. She's a highlight for sure. All right. So there you go. I know that's an unpopular opinion, but I'm sorry. That's the way I feel.
What's her name? She also lives. Alpha's daughter. Yeah, she lives too.
Yeah. Barely, but she does.
With so many characters that were integral to the plot are either gone or they're dead, like Carl, Michonne, Rick, what was their name? Sophia.
Yep.
Like, she was actually a really important character in the comic.
Yeah.
They killed her off early in the show, in a memorable episode, honestly. But
I wish they would do a Judas series and just fall. I mean, they could have had a smaller budget and had her, like, you could see her progression, because the actress that plays her could actually do it. They could just do it yearly for 10 years until she becomes a leader. And then if they want to do a time jump, get a different actress to play her as an adult, then so be it. But, whatever. It's missed opportunity all the way around, but whatever. She's
really good. I mean, for, what is she, like 8?
Yeah, she's so good, man. So good. She is really, really good. Her and Melissa McBride are definitely the highlights for me. But everything else, I'm just not into, and I didn't like it. I thought it was terrible. There's good special effects. That's one thing I can say.
The zombies always look good.
Yes, always.
They had some very creative zombies.
Yeah.
To me, especially the well zombie, I can never forget.
Oh, the well zombie! I'll never forget that one either. That was the one episode I pointed to Bernie where I was like, man, that episode is really good. But
actually, Mrs. Brigman's in the other room watching Walking Dead, and she said that's the episode that's on.
Yeah, the well zombie's really good. But other than that, I think you can spend better, time and whatever. Princess was really good too. For sure. Okay, and I like Bernie really liked. We call him the Glistener, but Mercer. That guy was really good too. He did a good job.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him. Yeah, he's in the comic also.
Yep. Okay, let's move on to everybody's favorite.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like the comic matched up with some of the things in the show, like Princess and Mercer, for instance.
Yeah. That did match up, but I mean that
a lot of the other stuff didn't because they were just in such a hurry to get through it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I remember several times I argued over the years that they won't be ending it this soon. Like they can go on for a long time, and they're like, well, the comic's over. Well, yeah, but the Commonwealth was so long. It was such a big story. It go on forever. No, they rushed through in about half a season.
Yep. Yeah.
I was wrong.
Yep. All right. I'm gonna text Eric to come back. I know I did.
Back.
Oh, you're back. Okay, cool. All right, let's move on to everybody's favorite segment.
What is it?
Stinko of the Week.
All right, Breakman, your Stinko of the Week.
I've got a few. One, the Mike DeWine. He's the fucking son of a bitch. He's he's doing it again. He's passing voter suppression laws.
How does he get elected again? Breakman, what is going on with you guys there?
Gerrymandering. B, like me and Eric have said, a lot of the state is heavy Trump love, and there's a lot of influence on the inside from AM radio stations. One of the most powerful AM radio stations in the country comes from this area.
Yeah,
and they have a lot of influence, and church obviously has a lot of influence too. So I'm completely confused by all of that. They say they worship Jesus and then they turn around and worship Trump too. It's confusing. So moving on. What did I have right here? Oh, the state of Missouri. The GOP taking over the state, the state capital. What was the first thing they enacted, Frank? You think? For politicians to get in, they were voted on by the people to come in there and make some changes and do what's right for America or for the people of Missouri. What do you think the first thing they did was?
I'm gonna guess that it was the abortion thing, break, but I could be wrong. I don't follow Missouri.
Surprisingly, it wasn't. What they did was they implemented a dress code.
Oh, that's right, with the arms.
Women can't show the arms.
Women can't show their arms, exactly.
What is this, Sharia law?
It is removing the right to bear arms, literally bare arms.
Yeah.
I it is the most absurd thing I have ever heard. It reminds me of the school dress code, you can't wear shorts even though it's August and we don't have air conditioning and you're all melting.
I think you know what I would do? I would challenge that all the way up to the Supreme Court if I was a woman.
Oh yeah, it's definitely going to happen. I mean, when I complain about all these laws, they're being fought. I mean, nothing's being implemented right away for the most part unless you're in states like Texas.
Right.
Or states like Alabama, which have implemented some, but they are being fought back against, which is good because one of the latest ones that they talk about is they found a way to get around the laws of not prosecuting women for having abortions.
Mm-hmm.
They found a way to prosecute women for having abortions.
Right.
And so that's coming in Alabama. Hopefully not, but it's their agenda. Again, tell me how it isn't about controlling women.
I wish that I mean, honestly, I wish that we could, I mean, since we're already divided, I mean, I wish there was a way we could divide the country half and half, south, north. And, you guys have whatever roles you want. And up here, it's just going to be, a melting pot of ideas. And that's the way it should be, not not the way it is currently. Like if you live in one of these, I don't understand these southern states, man. Like it's really crazy. Like that in itself. I mean, if you're a Republican, I'm neither a Republican nor a Democrat, but if you're a Republican, supposedly you're for more freedom, right? You're a constitutionalist, you believe in freedom, and all. How is making women put on more clothes freedom? How is that freedom? And then what's
freedom
even
for the white man, basically. It's less freedom for women, and like with Mike DeWine's voter suppression laws. Basically, it's you have to have an ID now, like an up to date and stuff like that. But there are people who are, because of poverty or whatever, don't have IDs, or people who have lost their IDs or insurance. They don't have insurance either.
Yeah, no, Skonoma, I'm not calling for segregation. That's not the point. That's not. I'm just saying, like,
yeah, I don't agree with like cutting the country in half.
No, I'm saying it's that extreme.
I understand your point
Right.
of view, but I think the problem is with education. Like we have politicians in charge of the education in the country.
Right, and I've said it 100 times here. Like that's an extreme way of thinking, Skodoma. Like I know you live in California. California's thought of as like this liberal utopia, but it's simply not true. There's lots of conservatives that live in California. I mean, to me, I think the problem is the division itself. I think, like, for instance, like the Democrats are now 100% against gas stoves, apparently. And I'm like, of all the fucking things that you could be doing, you're now attacking gas stoves. Get the flying fuck out of here, right?
That's not really true though. Like that's somebody made a comment about it because honestly, gas stoves are dangerous. And
Yes.
we should move away from them. But somebody made a comment about it, and the Republicans are so good at media spin. They turned it into an issue.
Right.
Most people have electric stoves or hybrid stoves.
California is a melting pot of dipshit.
Yeah. No, here's what I'm saying. It's not about the gas stoves break, but it's something else. Somebody tweeted out something so perfect. I wanted to keep it for the show, and I just forgot. But it was a tweet that said something along the lines of, do you think that these politicians are behind the scenes, like betting on how they can get us distracted? And I was like, nothing could be more truthful. They think of these things before they implement or say anything, right? And then, like you said, if it's something that a Democrat brings up, like yeah, you're right, Break. We probably should get away from gas stoves. Hold on. Yeah, it's a diversion. Like we probably should be getting away from gas stoves because of the fossil fuels and all that, and it makes a lot of sense. But we should do that like differently. We should, and the Republicans seized on it, and they're like, oh, they want to get rid of restaurants' gas stoves, and then there's this whole nonsense debate. Meanwhile, the only ones that are sitting back like looking are the politicians and like big oil, right? Big oil's like, oh wow, there's 50-50 already, so we don't have to worry about this. The politicians are going to do what we say instead of worrying about like actual fossil fuels and attacking the gas industry. We're attacking stoves now. It's like, it's the dumbest fucking thing in the world to have this conversation, man.
Reminds me, I have another stinko. You just kind of reminded me of it.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Oh, Exxon. This week it was reported that Exxon has been. You know what? Let me back up a little bit. What got the cigarette industry in so much trouble?
Maybe the taxes. I don't know.
No, that taxes happen because people are wanting to smoke cigarettes. No, what got the industry in trouble was they found out that cigarettes can cause cancer.
Oh yeah.
They buried that news.
Yeah. They
just like with the NFL, they buried CRT.
Concussions. Yeah.
Exxon has been doing the same thing with the environment.
Oh yeah.
They have known for years that they are destroying the environment, and we've just found out about it, and they've been dodging it.
Right.
So.
Well, we've known that that's the case.
But the fact that they've known.
They've known too.
Now we know for sure that they knew and they were lying about it. Right. So hopefully they're in a lot of trouble, but who knows, because they, oil industry and big pharma own the government and the military. Not military, but the private contractors.
Yeah. All right. What else you got, Break?
Corporate America. That's it.
Yeah.
I could go into a long story, but I just looked at the time and I've been talking enough. So
no, it's all good, man. We got plenty of time. Eric, we'll get back to it. Break. Eric, what's your stinko, man?
I tried to take a vacation day today, and of course, I caught something at work, so I couldn't even really enjoy it the way I wanted to.
Ugh. Well, at least you're at home and not working.
I think I'm finally getting over it, so maybe once I wake up, it won't even be a problem anymore.
Oh, that's good. My stinko is my sister's still here, so that's a definite stinko. So.
Also, it snowed today, so it was cold.
Yeah, but I agree with you, Breakman. Like corporate America is the death knell of the country, man. Like capitalism in general. I don't know the answer. I'm not a socialist. Like I don't want us to become like this utopia land where it would be nice to be like Star Trek, right? You don't need any monetary stuff for to get things and to accomplish stuff and to live, but
nobody homeless,
right? Any system that the minimum wage is not enough to make a good living and actually live is not a good system. The federal minimum wage is still at $7.25 an hour, which is not enough to make a living, right? And even if you count like certain, like here in, like it's different. Denver is I think up to like $14. I mean, it's not easy to make it on $14 an hour, right? Scotoma says, my stinkle is the president with those files, how the mainstream media is handling. That's another big one, Scotoma. I mean, you can't have it one way and then turn around. Although I do think the offenses are lopsidedly, worse on when Trump did it.
We shouldn't, as far as like being lopsided, like it sounds like that, but then we're just now finding out about this. So
yeah,
maybe,
I agree. It should be.
There's another shoe to drop.
I would. Hey, I would not.
I don't want to be quick to excuse
right.
it.
I'm not, and I'm telling you,
I know you're not.
If impeachment is on the table, I'm all for it, because look, you can't get away with that shit, and you shouldn't get away with that shit. If we're gonna sit here and say Trump did all these terrible things, well, so did Joe Biden. So let's get to the crux of it. Let's put Trump in prison, and let's put Biden in prison, and then move on with our lives, right? I mean, that's how I feel. I mean, it's the way it should be. So, and the Democrats just dismissing it out of hand, like it's not that bad, and blah blah blah. No.
It's just like sexual assaults. Like look what happened to the woman that accused Biden.
Right. Absolutely.
Or the woman that accused Clinton.
100%. I couldn't agree with you, man. Couldn't agree with you more.
And then Hillary goes on TV and says we gotta believe women. And well, what about your husband? Whoa.
Yeah. Scotoma says it's worse with Biden because he was vice president, no authority to take those files. The president doesn't have the authority either, Scotoma. Nobody does. Yeah. You can't just wave a magic wand and say, as president, and say these. You can declassify stuff as president, but there is a process, and none of those files were declassified. So it's not worse. It's the same. They are the same evil, both of them. They both did the wrong thing, and they both should be punished accordingly. I'm sorry, Break. I cut you off.
I forgot what I was saying.
Sorry. All right.
I cut you off all the time, so it's fine.
All right.
Let's. Because if I don't, you'll just keep talking.
I know. I'll just keep doing it. I have a lot to say, Break. What can I say, man? All right. Let's move on to happier thoughts.
Dude, what does my tattoo say?
Sweet of the week.
All right, Breakman, your sweeto of the week.
I have two, and they're both to the sports.
Okay.
So, you guys can go take your naps or whatever.
Okay.
One goes to a couple weeks ago. We talked about a horrible stinko. I saw one of the most horrible things I've ever seen on a football field is Damar Hamlin.
Yes.
Almost. Well, he went into cardiac arrest. He almost died.
Yeah.
Well, he's out of the hospital now.
Yep, and he's back in Buffalo, I believe.
Yep, he's back home. He's out of the hospital.
That's really good,
amazing.
man.
Like they said, his chances of survival were not very good, but he did.
Oh, by the way, Liza Marie Presley died today. I didn't mention that in my stinko. So, heart attack. Speaking of, so yeah, she didn't survive. So
yeah, she's kind of young too. Only in her
I
50s.
think she was 54. Yep. Yeah, 54 years old.
Really young for a heart attack. When they have heart attacks, they're that young. I kind of wonder, like, if drugs are getting.
Yeah, part of it was genetic, but also drugs for sure. Yeah. All right, break your sweeto. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
That's fine. The other one goes to the Bengals are in the playoffs again. I am cautiously optimistic about this next game because there are some. The Bengals are the better team, but they lost like a couple key players in that last game against the Ravens.
They're not going to lose against the Ravens. They're not going to lose.
And the Ravens didn't play some of their starters, and then the Bengals didn't score in the second half of that game. So like there are things to be worried about. But it's a sweeto. It's the playoffs. I mean, hey.
Breakman, I'm going to call it right now. Either the Bills or the Bengals are going to win the Super Bowl.
I like that.
Yeah.
I know who won in the Super Bowl.
What's that?
Former champs.
What's that?
I said I know who won't be winning the Super Bowl. The former champs.
The Rams. Yeah, they're not even in.
Oh, you know who? Entire season, like that's embarrassing.
You know who else won't be winning the Super Bowl? My Denver Broncos.
Did they fire the coach?
Yes. That was they fired him like 3 weeks ago. Nathaniel Hackett, man, like gone. Like they're looking at getting Harbaugh or George Payton, which I would be happy with either. More
they
so.
Need who they should look at is Lou Anarumo, the Bengals defensive head coach.
No. If we're gonna do that, we've got a really good defensive coach, and it has to be either Harbaugh or Payton, man, because you can't take a chance on a coordinator anymore. We did that. We've been down that road, man.
Okay,
It's got to be an established guy, and then if you lose with that one, then you tried your best. I mean, you can't take a chance on a coordinator anymore. That's why I don't even think our defensive coordinator, who is pretty awesome, is gonna be the head coach. It's got to be either. I want Harbaugh because he's way more hard nosed, I guess. He's kind of a dick. And that's what they need. They need an asshole. So, all right. Freak 5 says his sweetos had the week off from work. In 4 days, I have made $400 doing DoorDash. That's actually really cool, Freak 5. Doing DoorDash, I found out that there's a dispensary in Des Moines.
And now you're down $200. Right?
Yeah.
You made $400, now you're down.
Right. I stopped by there earlier today, and with my purchase, I also got a free chocolate. I was told it tastes like shit, but the high is great. So there you go. Honesty from the bud tenders is always really good. Freak 5. So
it tastes like shit. Like I've bought some edibles all the edibles I've bought taste good.
Yeah, everything that I've eaten is good. I mean, stuff that I even make is good. So
I haven't tried that.
Any other sweetos, break?
No.
Okay, Eric, you have a sweeto?
Football.
Yeah, football.
I don't really have any.
All right. Today is my mom's birthday, Friday the 13th. So happy birthday, Mom. So there we go.
Happy birthday, Frank's.
Yeah, I know. It's really cool, man. She's awesome. She's I don't know. She's an angel as far as I'm concerned, So, all right. Let's move on to Free For All. Oh, wait. Scotoma says his sweeto is he got a call today saying his son is qualified to see some doctors at Stanford for his epilepsy. That is really, really good news, Scotoma. God's God. How dare you, Breakman, you son of a bitch. All right, let's get into the free-for-all here.
It's a free-for-all.
I love our soundbite there because at the end it's suck it, it's like I don't know. Eric brought up something really, really cool to talk about. Eric, you wanna talk about it? Maybe put the link into chat here.
I don't have the link on hand.
All right, I'll get it. I think I can get it. But it basically basically what it is like having the same actor or actress do an anime dub both in English and Spanish, right?
No,
Eric?
English and Japanese.
I mean, I'm
The
sorry,
Japanese
English
voice
and
actress
yeah,
doing an English dub for the
right,
character.
right. So the same actor or actress doing the, so
And it's not even really about that more. So it's not only is that usually historically not having a good idea, but if you don't have a good enough voice director to coach you, you're gonna sound awful no matter what.
Yeah.
And it's not just her; it's like the other actors in those examples they were showing weren't doing a great job either. Yeah. So it is largely due to the voice direction, and I think it also drives home a point where when you're translating something into another language people can understand, if you don't give it enough care, it's going to totally change the tone of that character's personality, and the delivery is going to reflect that. And it sounds like you're not trying, or the characters are more negative than they should be.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess a broader discussion of this would be, why do you think most English dubs are bad? Like from Japanese to English?
I don't even think they're bad. I think they've gotten a lot better, but the bad ones that exist are really bad.
Right.
So you can acutely tell what's a bad dub instead of being just basically serviceable and acceptable.
Yeah. Go back and listen to like a dub from like the late 80s, early 90s, and then listen to one now. Like there's a billion times of improvement.
Yeah.
Like a good example of dub that I've watched recently is mostly any comedy that I've watched. The most recent one being the one that's finished its current season. I think at least it will have been finished as of, I don't know, Saturday or maybe Sunday when the episode goes up. Or it's for season 2 of Uzaki-chan wants to hang out, and that's a pretty good dub. And I haven't heard the Japanese version. I'd like to think that they put enough care into it where it's a close approximation of what those characters would sound like if they were talking in English and living in an English culture, and so people can get it, the same kind of feeling from them.
Yeah. I mean, I always think, but see, I don't know what it is, guys, but almost every English dub, unless it's like really, really good voice actors, to me is not nearly as good as the Japanese voice acting, and that's probably because the Japanese is more synced up to lips on anime, and probably they take more passion in it, I guess, and like what Eric was saying with the direction and stuff like that, they have really good like coaching through their animes, because that's the origin, right? I think that may be part of the problem. Like if we did more stuff here, maybe people would take it more seriously. Also, the money is a factor.
I'd bring up Dragon Ball. I was talking to Frank earlier, but Dragon Ball started off really like scattershot. We're just gonna do whatever the fuck working designs type of translation and just do whatever we want. Or they've gone from that to relatively good, but it still has its quirks and a lot of the residue from before, like naming the cans on the Destructo disc or the Special Beam can instead of the Makon Soko, just because it's too hard to pronounce for some people or something, instead of coming up with like a direct translation of that, which would be deemed the Spiral Beam or something like that. Yeah. But like changing characters' core personalities, like Goku doesn't sound like a country bumpkin. He sounds more like a sedated superhero that just a goofball sometimes.
Well, in Japanese, he sounds like a little girl, but a grown woman, but because it's voiced by a grown woman.
It doesn't even matter that they had a woman voice actor. They just use the same voice actress for Goku and all his growth, but. It's more so the cadence that comes with that personality that is just not translated into the Funimation's version.
Freak 5
Where
just...
they made him more of a generic superhero type character.
Freak 5 just sent me something in message. It says Tyson Mike bites, and it's like...
And Piccolo and Vegeta sound like try-hard wrestlers.
Yeah.
For many, many years until they leveled out a bit. But they still have a lot of that same core representation that they did back then.
Freak 5, is that...
Because they can't just up and change it.
Yeah. Is that what you got from the dispensary, Freak 5? It's funny.
I kind of like Brian Drone's Vegeta from the original dub that Funimation went with when they hired Ocean Studios to do the dub work until they were ready to do their own.
Yeah.
Because he was kind of a perfect balance between sort of like what Norio Wakamoto would sound like with the same level of youth, but also the same level of aggression that you'd also expect from him if a English person was doing it instead. But like they didn't keep on using Ocean Studios, and they didn't try to find someone who sounded similar to that. Instead, they kind of gave him the pseudo royal but pseudo wrestler hybrid, which in my opinion doesn't work that well for Vegeta.
They also dumped that awesome theme song they had.
But it's just really weird that seeing. I know people on Twitter that only will watch an anime if it's dubbed in English, because I guess their brains just.
I don't understand that because you're.
I mean, I mean, there's some Japanese voice actors who have like tropey voices that I don't care for, but I'll still watch it in Japanese because I still want to watch it the way that they intended, because that's how it was created in the audience it was created for. So I want to have respect for the original work by watching it that way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't understand that either.
And
reading
also,
is hard.
if you do it that way,
reading is hard.
If you do it that way, you might be getting a lesser experience. Like that dub example that I showed Frank.
Yeah.
Of that one show. It was for a show that's just recently came out. It was Tomo-chan as a girl.
Yeah.
Is the video that I showed him.
Yeah. Freak 5 says I might cut my hours at work to the minimum I need to keep my insurance and replace it by dashing. Shit, if you're making $100 a day, dude, I mean that's pretty fucking good money if you think about it. You know.
And I know further to the point where I was trying to make was, I don't understand why these people are dub onlys when they say they don't like Japanese voice actors' voices. Is it because you think the way they talk when they're voice acting is different from how they would sound naturally if you're having a conversation with them in that language, or is it that you can't conceive of other people's languages for whatever your weird eccentric reason is? You know,
you're right, and I don't like it in this aspect either, Eric, because it happens even with foreign movies. Oh, I don't want to watch that. I can't do subtitles. It's like,
well, I can't really argue against that one, but I was gonna say, as far as like cartoons are concerned, maybe you don't want to read and you just want to see the animation.
I guess. I mean, if you don't want to read, but it's not.
You don't want to take your eyes away from the animation, you know.
No,
it's not like these people I know go back and watch it in the other languages. But
yeah.
No, I'm not defending those people. I'm just saying some people might be like that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, some people.
I'm not saying me because I've watched dub and sub. It didn't matter.
I love foreign movies. I mean, you're missing out on a whole world of great movies, especially in the horror genre. Like
the only argument to it is like there's 50 bajillion things you could do on this planet to spend your time. So I'm gonna spend the time, like, just trimming some stuff out that I wouldn't want to do otherwise, because I could just do this other stuff instead.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, guys, like, it's not hard to read subtitles while you're watching a movie. I mean, it takes a little getting used to. It's like drinking Diet Pop, right? You don't want to drink Diet Pop at first because it tastes different and it's icky, and then but if you do it for like a week or two, then you're like, oh, this isn't half bad, and it's healthier for me, and and then you do it, and then you're like, I can't go back. It's like, it's weird. I love foreign movies. I think they're great. I don't know. It's just, whatever.
I mean, I'll usually watch it English dub if it's good enough, but like I tried watching Jujutsu Kaisen, and I couldn't stomach the English dub because I felt the mixing was poor, and characters just don't speak loud enough, and they get drowned out over the soundtrack.
Yeah. Let's see. What else was I going to tell you? Oh, here's something interesting, Break. WWE might be sold. I don't know if you knew that.
To Saudi Arabia.
No.
I read about that. They canceled that deal, but there was something else. What's that going on?
Yeah, AEW, the owner of AEW, Tony Khan, and his dad Shad Khan, are interested in buying WWE. So they would pretty much be the only wrestling, which I think is a bad thing.
Yeah.
But it couldn't be worse than Vince McMahon being the only.
I mean, one wrestling organization is what got me out of wrestling.
I know.
I used to be a huge fan of it, but then WCW went away and just competition, and it was just they had no excuse to try anymore, and it was obvious.
But you know what? There are some people saying that it's an angle by Tony Khan, who owns AEW, just to see WWE's financials. So he's like sort of playing 4D chess. You know what I mean?
I just wanted to put one more point. I know you kind of moved on, but
no, it's okay. Go right ahead, Eric. I'm sorry, I didn't.
But when it comes to watching dub only and saying how you can't get used to Japanese voice acting the way it sounds or whatever, well, if you spent so much of your time not listening to it, how would you know that the quality of whatever voice acting you felt was off to you has improved at any? Because you don't have much of a frame of reference.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, since it's Friday the 13th, guys, I just saw this tweet. It says, today marks 12 years, 6 months since the last Friday the 13th movie was released. That's too long, isn't it? I mean, I think we can all agree that it's time we get another Friday the 13th movie going. I think, anyways.
That's the remake, right? And when was the last one before that? Freddy vs. Jason?
Yep. Freddy vs. No, I think it was Jason X, actually.
Oh, Jason X.
Yeah. And I like Jason X. Most people hate it, but I actually thought it was fun. But I don't know.
I've not seen any of the movies where they've gone into space, like Leprechaun in space. And
they're fun.
Jason in space. I'm like, no.
No, they're dude. You should see Jason X. Jason X is fun. It's wacky, off the wall, but semi plausible, I guess. Like I thought it was fairly okay, man. Prequel TV series show coming out. Yeah, I'm not excited for that Freak 5 at all. I don't know. I just for me, it's either let's get a new movie and I mean it's only logical. We got to do Friday the 13th Part 13. It's
how are they doing a prequel show of that?
Dude, I don't know. I'm looking at it and I'm like, I don't know.
Make a prequel show out of that because none of the killing started until Pamela went nuts.
Right. Well, I guess they're gonna delve into that, and they might delve into Jason's dad too.
So there's gonna be so it would be a Friday the 13th show of no killing is essentially what I'm.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not.
Unless they're just gonna completely redo it and just do their own thing,
I don't know. Who knows at this point, man? Like, honestly, like, I just want a proper one in the, Skoma says, I watch scary ghost alien cryptid videos to help me sleep sometimes. Yeah, there you go, Skotoma. Nothing wrong with that.
You get scared to sleep, you mean?
It's funny because Bernie and I listen to scary stories every single night to go to sleep to. So that's not far off, Skotoma.
Give me nightmares, please.
Yeah, give me nightmares, exactly. But actually, I don't know what it is, but I mean, no sooner than Bernie puts on those stories, and like 5 minutes later, I'm like sleeping, huh, Bernie?
Maybe they're boring, and that's what the point is.
No,
and they're not boring. They're pretty good. They're pretty, I mean, it's just like fanfic type stuff, but it's like, I don't know. It's just, to me, it's just, I don't know. But that's what we do almost every night. Freak5 says, I only saw they are making it, so I don't know anything about it, but the whole idea sounds stupid. I agree, it just sounds dumb. And then, like, with the rights issues and stuff, it's like, I know that they kind of patched things up, but are they going to be able to use Jason? I mean, there's so many stupid, dumbass rights.
Explaining Jason kind of kills the point of him,
Yeah. I mean, honestly,
it kills the point of the movies. Like, the movies were just killing people. It's walking through kids show up at camp and then kids start dying, essentially.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, honestly, I really think
heavy
that
on the story plot, you know.
unless it's a proper Friday 13th, like the 13th one, which they definitely have to do a Friday 13th part 13. I mean, they've gotten it up to this point, I mean, honestly. So, but I don't know. I think that should do it for this week, unless you guys have anything else you want to talk about. You have anything else you want to talk about, Eric?
You want?
Eric?
Can't really think of anything.
Breakman, you have anything else?
Okay, you want me to talk about that corporate America thing that I mentioned earlier?
Yes, please. Let's get some.
I literally had the meeting the other day about it wasn't just me, it was like the whole department meeting, like, okay, well, we didn't do as well as we should have at the end of last year. You guys didn't work hard enough. Some people were taking off, on PTO and vacation. This is the holiday season, by the way. We're talking about December. Basically, you aren't producing enough, even though the company's reporting record profits.
Mm-hmm.
But this is something that'll affect the bonuses because we didn't do enough of what they wanted. My argument was, well, a lot of us are working longer hours and busting our asses because you won't hire any more people. When people quit, what you do is you give the work to others.
Right.
And top of the work that they already have. You don't pay those people any more money, but you tell them to get the job done. And when the job doesn't get done, you blame those people, even though it's your fault for not hiring more people.
Yep. What was their response?
Well, I was talking to my manager about it. My manager's cool, and she agrees with me 100%. She said it's a fight she has every year. Essentially, is trying to get people and trying to hire more people. But essentially, their arguments. Well, you get enough done. It's essentially the corporation's argument. You get enough done to make us profit. So why would we waste money on hiring somebody else?
Yeah, I mean that's it. That's it in a nutshell. Why should they hire anybody at an expense when they could get you guys to do it? I mean, even if you are overworked and we do have to pay you overtime, I mean, you should be grateful.
And they find a way to not give you like bonuses too, because they're giving you more work. You're doing more work for them, but you're not being compensated for it.
You should be grateful, Breakman, that you even have a fucking job. What's wrong with you? Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, seriously, like, what is wrong with you? Ungrateful ingrate, you, Breakman. How dare you? You should just bow your head and enjoy what we've given you thus far, And if you have to do more work, then you suck it up and you take it, because that's how it is.
They love to waste money too. Like, they don't want to pay the employees more money, but they want to have like big holiday celebrations, and they want to have like meetings at like downtown convention centers, and bring in big paying guest speakers and shit.
Don't give them any ideas, Breakman, because then they'll cut down the parties.
This is stuff I've already done.
Yeah.
But since we've been on remote, like they've cut down on a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
But like I went to a meeting once. I forget where it was, but they brought in a guest speaker. Gregory Peck's son.
Yeah.
What? Who? What? Why?
I know.
Who the fuck is Gregory Peck's son? Why do we care?
Right. I mean, corporate America for you, man. We're excess.
Find ways to waste money.
Yep.
Because it's cheaper than paying people more money.
Yeah. I mean, how dare you suggest that you cut executive pay? I mean, that'll never happen.
It's cheaper than hiring more people and paying them more money. Just to have the expense budgets and stuff like that.
And they don't realize. Well, they do realize it happens in the gaming industry a lot. Look at what's his name, Bobby Kotick's company. They record profits, right? Same thing happened in WWE. They announced record profits, and then in the same breath they cut like half the roster. It's like, what? We helped make you guys all this money, and you're cutting half of us? Like, what? Yep. What is? Oh boy!
I mean, look at the pandemic. A lot of companies got a lot of government money. What do they do with that money? They held it. It didn't. That money was there to keep them running and stay afloat. Instead, these companies just cut their staff.
Yeah, it's always
And
that way.
a lot of them didn't bring a lot of people back.
Yeah,
My company didn't.
and they're always like that. They're always like, well, this is just temporary. We'll get we're just laying you off, and they never bring you back. I mean, it was stupid. Like Breakman, I worked at a dispensary that I really liked. It was called True Cannabis, right? Well, True Cannabis like sold to a bigger company called Green Dragon, and I'll never buy weed from Green Dragon because they fucking blow. But before we left, we were given assurances, right? Oh, we're bringing everybody back, and you just got to go through the interview process, and then we want you all here, right? And so I went through the interview, and I mean, it was stupid. I mean, it was dumb. Why do I have to interview for a job I already do?
Right.
And then so I did it.
Been in a similar situation, so
right. So then I'm like, okay, and then so yeah, just wait for the call. We'll get you guys back. And I waited a week and nothing. So I called, and the woman on the phone is like, oh yeah, well we eliminated your position. I'm like, oh, after you guys told me I had a job and I was coming back, you eliminated my job. Okay, that's great. Corporate America at its best. Great. Well, whatever, man. I think we got to end this here. I mean, we could talk about this shit all day. Capitalism, it is in its dying breaths, I think. I don't think it's going to be much longer in the United States.
The problem is with our country, like, we have, like, tons of regulations on the books that are just completely ignored.
Yeah.
And when companies do something wrong, take the Trump Tower, for instance, like, they committed, like, so much fraud, and, like, they broke several laws. Their fine's $1.6 million. They probably make that in 10 minutes.
Yeah. Always, man.
They find these corporations with the smallest slaps on the wrist. And then those corporations just go back to doing what they were doing, because why?
Why should they not? They look. It's like this Trump organization fine, right? That they got, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
$1.6 million, right? Which sounds like a lot of money to any of us, right? But it's like, to that organization which dealt with tens of millions of dollars, are they going to even? I mean, it's like, okay, here's your 1.6, and then they move on. Most companies are like that.
They'll make that money back in an hour.
Yes. It's like not even, I don't know. And Freak 5 is exiled again, by the way. Son of a bitch.
Oh, they didn't want you selling their weed. They thought it would hurt their brand with the youngsters, apparently.
How dare you? I was the number one seller there, by the way. I sold more weed than anybody at that place. I can proudly say that.
Little old ladies at that shop.
How dare you, you son of a bitch, Breakman, you son of a bitch. No, I actually did very good. I mean, Freak 5 talks about making 100 a day. Working in a dispensary that allows you to get tips is very lucrative. I used to have a base salary of $13 an hour, which, I mean, whatever. I mean, that was actually, they were, kind of like minimum wage, right? But I would easily walk home with $150, $200 in tips in my jar, and maybe more sometimes.
The tips were the only money you made because your whole entire paycheck went right back into the store.
Pretty much. I mean, well, we got free weed too, so that was, there's that too. But yeah, I mean, even if it did, I would have been happy with and that all that was, kind of under the table. I think that they're cracking down on that too, though, like tips and shit. Like, they're starting to make people record tips, but literally, like, my jars would be like huge ass, like, pickle jars full of money, and I would have to, like, take all that money out, put it in my pocket, and then start again, and then by the end of the night I would have 2 full jars of fucking money. It's like,
I worked retail jobs and customer service and sales jobs, and several of those companies I worked for would not allow us to take tips.
Yep, I know. That's another problem.
It's the absolute most ridiculous shit. Like, people would want us, like, to help, like, taking the stuff out to their car, sometimes taking it and installing it in our homes. Yep. But we're not allowed to take tips.
Yeah. Well, it was like when I worked at Avis Rent-A-Car, Breakman. We weren't allowed to take tips. And I'm like, this is a fucking service industry. We're helping with luggage, and we can't fucking take tips?
Tell customers they can't spend their money the way they want to.
Yeah, I know. moderator. Scotoma says he was his best. How dare you, Scotoma? You son of a bitch. How dare you say I was my best customer? You know, how dare you? No, I used to make a lot of money in tips, man. In the.
It was weird. The days that Frank didn't work, the sales were like half.
How dare you, Breakman? You another son of a bitch. All you guys are exiled, man. How dare you? On my mom's birthday of all days. How dare you? How dare you all? Hey, at least Eric didn't chime in. That's good. It's a plus for Eric. Jesus. All right. Well, anyways, we gotta go, man. We gotta run. Breakman, plug away, please.
I smell food cooking. I am hungry.
Ooh.
Got a pork roast going here. It's gonna be.
Pork roast. Yeah.
Oh my god, good.
Sonic was sleeping and now she's awake and not happy. Sorry, Sonic. All right, I quit, cat.
How dare you, Freak 5? Son of a bitch. Says it wasn't a tip. You dropped that money on the ground and the customer noticed it and gave it back to you. How dare you? Dare you? All right. Did you do your plugs already, Break?
Follow me at RPGrinders on Twitter. I'm not jumping ship to any other platforms. I don't see anything like getting big. Not of what's out there now.
I know Mastodon is kind of a train wreck, man. I was thinking of going to Mastodon. I'm like, fuck that. Ugh. You know, it's like, nah.
Like everybody's unhappy with Twitter, but I'm still having fun on it anyway.
Yeah, I'm trying to navigate through Twitter when I go there, man. I hardly ever use it anymore, but you know, it is what it is.
Well, for me, I found out that if I use acronyms, the last 2 weeks I've been using acronyms, I have not got suspended.
Oh, Freak 5 was saying, no, I am saying that is what you say when your job says you can't take tips. Oh, I see. No, I mean, most jobs are like that, Freak 5. They don't allow you to take tips. And it's so stupid. It's because they don't get a cut of it. That's why. You know, the government doesn't get their cut, and they don't get their cut. You know, it is what it is. So, whatever. All right. Eric, your plugs, please.
BostonBastardBrigade.com. That's where the written reviews I do are for video games. Or you can listen to the audio reviews I do on the feed for the podcast. If you like either of those things, you can go to my Twitter profile at EricRPG, and there's a link to my Patreon, and you could send me money that way. And you can either do a monthly or a one-time, however much you want, as little as $1.
All right.
And that would help me out.
Yeah, it would help Eric out. And you know what? Just real quickly on that, Eric's been doing this a long time, and he deserves a little extra. So, you know, and it's not even extra. It's just to help him do his reviews, get new games, you know, all that type of stuff. He does get, from time to time, review code, but, you know, that's few and far between for such a small
I pretty much
show.
only get code from indies and Nisa at this point.
Yeah, and it's a shame.
Access games, but that's it.
It's a shame because Eric does a really, really good job with his reviews, and you know, he should be afforded more so he could live a little bit better. So that's all. All right, you can follow me on Twitter at Frank Branches. You can follow me on any of the systems, RPGrinders. Also, you can go to YouTube if you want to see something completely different. Go to YouTube and follow my channel, Mexican Long Hair. I do cop watching. I do government accountability videos. I do slice of life videos. I do a bunch of stuff on that channel. So make sure you check it out. You guys have anything else?
No.
All I can say is you could treat my Patreon like a chip jar.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. We're talking about tips. It's perfect. All right. Stay safe this week.
We're talking about tits. Oh, shit. Never mind. I don't care anymore.
All right. Stay safe this weekend. We want to see you back here next week. Until then, we are out. Stay safe, everyone.
I'm definitely going to play that later.
I like some of the cop watching videos on Pornhub, Freak 5 says. Those chicks are pretty hot on Pornhub, Freak 5, no doubt.
Actual top porn.
Yeah, I mean, some of that stuff is actually real. I mean, those chicks in those police outfits, pretty hot, man. No doubt. This week on Bernie's OnlyFans, her DoorDash driver gives her the tip. How dare you, Freak 5? How dare you? You son of a bitch. I should have given you that. I didn't even see that till just now. Only the tip, Breakman. How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? All right, guys. Scotoma and Freak 5, thanks as always for being in there. Who else was in there? I didn't even see. There's other people in there, though. Alicidra, Alien Gathering, another TV viewer. Ashley was in there. Commander Root, Drapsnat, Henty Chan, and Sealosk was in there. So welcome, everybody, and thanks for being in there. And until next week, we'll see you guys.